Marcus Rashford now. Now, he's been speaking after completing his loan move from Manchester United to Barcelona. This is what he said on the Rest is Football podcast. And trust me, he has not held back.
At times, I feel like United have just been, we're hungry to win, so we'll always try to, to adapt and to sign players that fit this system. But like, it's reactionary. If your direction's always changing, you can't expect to be able to win the league. People say we've been in a transition for years. To be in a transition, you have to start the transition. So it's like the actual transition's not started yet. So like when Liverpool went through this, they got Klopp, they stuck with him. They didn't win in the beginning.
True.
Do you know what I mean? People only remember his final few years when he was, competing with City and winning the biggest trophies. Didn't win in the beginning. So it's like, to start a transition, you have to make a plan and stick to it. I feel like we've had that many different managers and different ideas and different strategies in order to win. You end up in the middle of, you end up in no man's land.
No man's land. James, has he got a point?
I'm not sure he necessarily does, because I think United have given the managers that he's had a decent period of time to try and turn things around. Erik ten Hag got 2 and a bit seasons. Ruben Amorim has been given time now. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had a really long period of time.
But you've just proven his point. You keep naming different managers. That's his point.
But they got enough time to show themselves and be given back in the transfer market. All those managers were, and things didn't work out. And by the way, Marcus Rashford didn't cover himself in much glory over the course of the last few years. Had a great first season under Erik ten Hag, but didn't necessarily perform, didn't necessarily train at the level required. So for Marcus Rashford, he's only there on loan at the moment. He'll have to return to the football club because no one wants to buy Marcus Rashford right now.
I think he has a point in one way, in that since David Gill and Sir Alex Ferguson left the club, they have gone through a number of managers, but without a proper structure. Now it seems people are saying United have always been in transition. You can only be in a transition when the transition starts. It feels this time that I know we keep saying it feels different this time, but this time there is a structure in place. Manchester United have got a technical director, they've got a sporting director, they've got a recruitment team, whereby they're all working together, and they've said to Ruben Amorim, effectively, you are the guy. Any other manager of a big club, you finish 15th in the league, you're in danger of losing your job.
Yeah.
He was never in danger of losing his job because they knew that the problems that Manchester United have had have been built up over a number of years, and a squad that effectively has been a mishmash of a number of managers. And Ruben Amorim has inherited all of that, and now it's got to the point where we're talking about departures and Manchester United not being able to sell well, but maybe they're thinking, is now the time just to say, we've got to move on. If we make the loss and we take the hit, because Manchester United need to start again, and now the transition will begin.
If they finish 15th this season, does Amorim get sacked and we are once again going in a different direction at Manchester United?
I think he'll be under pressure as Manchester United manager. Of course, 15th is not going to be anywhere near good enough for Ruben Amorim. It just depends whether, and it's churlish to say if you finish 15th and you've made progress or not, but it will all depend on what happens during the season, because there are different competitions, there are different ways, I don't know what's going to happen. Are there going to be players injured? Are they going to give him that slack? We just don't know at the moment. It's very hard to predict that.
James, are you surprised that a player on loan, has said what he said?
A player on loan who hasn't shown anything yet at Barcelona either. We've not seen him in a Barcelona shirt. I'm surprised when he's still contracted to Manchester United that he'd make comments like that when he has played a role in United's demise over the course of the last few years. It's not just been on Marcus Rashford, but he's been a figurehead at the football club and he's not performing at the level which has helped Ruben Amorim and Manchester United get back to the level they need to be at.
Absolutely fascinating. Right, we've got transfers.
But Carlos Belieber, they haven't made any official contact club to club yet. That's because, as James was mentioning there, the focus has been on sales. The focus has been on sales before the Šeško deal and after. And initially we thought, right, they need to sell before they can bring Šeško in. The messaging has changed slightly in that they need assurances before the end of the window that some sales are going to happen, because you can't dictate the timing of when a player is going to become available. So, for example, the Šeško deal presented itself at that time, and just because United hadn't made any sales before that Šeško deal aside of the Rashford deal, they knew they had to do that deal then, because in the background, they know that they're working on these sales already. But it's understood that if a market opportunity does present itself with Carlos Belieber, United want to be in a position where they can act on it. Now, as I mentioned, sales, yes, but having that assurance that those sales are going to come at some point in this window. Having said all of that, this is Brighton we're talking about, and immediately this is going to be a very, 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 that's 4 verys, difficult deal to do.
I struggle to see this deal happening. I really do.
Brighton don't want to sell. They've got no intention of selling, and they are, more significantly, under no pressure to sell. That's because Belieber's got 3 years left on his contract. They've got an option for a further year, and they probably look at Belieber as making more progress at this stage of his career than Moises Caicedo had done when he was at Brighton. Moises Caicedo ended up going for £115 million to Chelsea. Brighton will probably start valuing Belieber in and around that figure, you would think. So with him having 3 years left on his contract still, going to be very, very hard.
Yeah.
Marcus